All right, take it away, Kelly.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. My name is Kelly Farrar. I am a qualified national marketing director with the Juice Plus Company. I live in Brentwood, New Hampshire, with my family, my husband, Kevin, my daughter, Abigail, who's a sophomore in college in Boston, and my daughter, Audrey, who is a senior in high school. And we are a Healthy Starts for family. And I'm also a mom on a mission, and it's my passion for kids and kids' health that kind of, um, allowed me to kind of, conceive this event tonight with my sideline friend and colleague, Noelle Schroeder. We really wanted to inspire moms and dads alike to really kind of make this the school year that your kids' health and nutrition becomes the priority, because there is no doubt that there is such a strong link between food and sickness. And the Healthy Starts for Families is all about inspiring the whole family to get healthy together. So I want to just kind of give you a picture of where we are today as far as our health, both from a positive perspective, but also from the reality perspective. And Dr. William Sears, who's a pediatrician who's just known globally, he's kind of the world's pediatrician, and he stated that 75% of chronic diseases are preventable with good nutrition, and that's good news. So there is an element of self-control and self-participation in our own health and in our family's health, but it really begins, at the end of our fork, but even more so at the grocery store and the choices that we're making. And more often than not, if the choices contain, fruits and vegetables and berries, then we're doing something that's super proactive for our health every single day. Sadly, 1 in 2 people born today will get cancer in their lifetime. And that's really frightening if you think about, the growth of our population. And this is just one chronic disease. This is just cancer. So that doesn't take into effect heart disease and diabetes and so many other diseases that didn't exist when I was a kid. I turned 50 in January, and when I think of diseases today, there's so many autoimmune disorders. That autoimmune was just something that wasn't even heard of, 20, 30 years ago. Children today are definitely facing a higher level of toxicity from their food because it is overly processed. Growing standards have declined dramatically in fruit and vegetables. And then there are just so many air pollutants. So there was an article that I read recently that said that the average child born today as a newborn baby already has upwards of almost 250,000 toxins already in their system. And that's not against, mom not doing a great job taking care of baby in the womb. That's just a nature of living in today's world. So battling toxicity, battling lack of nutrition in food are leading to statistics like this. So minimally, children should be eating 7 to as many as 9 or more servings of raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables and berries every single day. Now, if you're like me, when I first heard the statistic when my girls were young, like 3 and 5 years old, I was just like, that's impossible. How can we as a family begin to even eat that much? And as adults, it really is in the 13 to as much as 18 or more servings a day. Ultimately, the more active you are, the more active your children are, the more they should be eating. And, I was really dumbfounded as a parent going, how am I going to get my children to eat more? I had an intellectual understanding that, there's a direct connection between disease and food. I was facing it in my own family with the diagnosis of cancer with my mother-in-law, but I didn't have a solution. I had an understanding, but I didn't have a solution. And Dr. David Katz, who's with the Yale Prevention Medical Center down in Connecticut. When this statistic or when this statement came out, it horrified me. I thought this was completely unacceptable, that this may be the first generation of children today to have a shorter life expectancy than their children. And, as a mom on a mission, this has to change. I made the commitment to make this statement a non-reality for my family 15 years ago. And I hope, given what you're learning tonight and what you're going to continue to learn tonight, and hear some really inspiring stories from real moms that made change, that you'll take this statement and say, kind of draw that line in the sand and say, enough is enough for your family. So the solution lies simply in eating as much real food as possible. Food that doesn't have this enormous ingredients list, food that, isn't processed. It's about the real food that Mother Nature intended us to eat. So when it comes down to it, food is the solution. The challenge is that most children and adults won't, don't, can't, or don't, just are like, I don't like it, aren't eating real food. So there is a solution. And I'm so happy to be a part of providing you that solution tonight. And it's called Juice Plus. So Juice Plus is something that, has absolutely changed my life. It's changed my family's life. And the reason for it being such a catalyst to change is because it's just food. It is raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables that are just uniquely packaged. They are either in a capsule or a chew. But the most fascinating thing about Juice Plus to me is that it has a nutrition facts label, just like a bag of carrots does. So it is food. It is not a vitamin. It is actually food. And one of my favorite things is to let parents know that their children can eat Juice Plus for free. And that's what our Healthy Starts for Families program is all about. So Healthy Starts for Families does give the family a healthy start, because it's something that the whole family unit can do together. It's designed to be easy and simple, and it's absolutely designed with busy families in mind. I don't know a family on the planet today that isn't busy. We're a go society between sports and activities and work and carving out that family time and that dinner time. And it's a constant schedule of gotta do's. But the really cool thing about Juice Plus and Healthy Starts for Families is it's not a gotta do, it's a want to do. It's a want to commit to change your life. And the Healthy Starts for Families program, basically all it is that the adult commits to saying enough is enough. This is the year that we are going to take our health and make it a priority. And they commit to starting to eat Juice Plus. And when they commit to making that change, they can sponsor one child into the Healthy Starts for Families program. So like in my family, I sponsored a daughter and my husband sponsored a daughter. So both of us were able to begin the health habit and then inspire our kids to do the same. So it's really that simple. And what's unbelievably generous of the Juice Plus company is they gift this opportunity for kids to receive free fruits and vegetables, whether they're in the chews or in the capsules. They are able to provide children between the ages of 4 and full-time college students up to the age of 26. I mean, that's a huge age spread, because it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're not eating, 30 plus fruits and vegetables a day, which is what Juice Plus is, you're putting yourself at risk. Risk because I mentioned the toxicity and the quality of the food. The food that is grown for the Juice Plus company is herbicide, pesticide, fungicide free, non-GMO, vegan, because our capsules are vegan, and we have the most body of clinical research of any product in the entire world. And our research is gold standard, independent, done by institutions who are investing in learning how food is connected to disease prevention. The Healthy Starts for Families program is definitely making change in families. And in just a moment, we're going to hear some of the stories of real life moms that have experienced a journey, a positive journey with the Healthy Starts for Families program. But, looking at these statistics, this is just the beginning. These are statistics that are provided by families that are enrolled in the study, that fill out a once-a-year questionnaire. And this is like year 1 in the study or year 2 in the study. I've been eating Juice Plus and my family's been eating Juice Plus for 15 years. So our journey is, it just continues year after year, because that's the way nutrition works. It works by building in ourselves and capitalizing upon benefit upon benefit upon benefit, like a strong immune system, just as one benefit. But what's really cool about the Healthy Starts for Families program is that 98% of all moms, dads, and kiddos enrolled in the study are experiencing positive benefits. And I always like to share that those benefits can actually, certainly be health related, which is like thumbs up, we want that, but they also can be academic related. They can be athletic related. They can be behavioral related, because the power of food can impact so many aspects of a human's life that it completely can change your physiology, therefore changing aspects of who we are for the good. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to stop sharing my computer right now, because what I'd like to do is invite a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, Melissa Guy, who is going to be sharing her family's Healthy Starts for Family story. So Melissa, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks, Kelly. Hi, everybody. My name is Melissa. I live on the seacoast in New Hampshire, and I'm a mom to 2 little girls. Delaney is, she'll be 8 this weekend. She's in 3rd grade, and Callahan just started kindergarten. And my health journey, I want to say I was introduced to Juice Plus 3 years ago, but my health journey really started 8 years ago. And for a lot of people, a health issue is what will lead you to change. And for me, that was definitely the case. So when I was pregnant with Delaney, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which I was totally shocked about, and totally changed my relationship with food. I had never really looked at labels before. And I wasn't eating terribly, but I was forced to measure my food, pay attention to what was going in my body. And what scared me was how unpredictable your body can be. So that changed the course of the rest of my life and my daughter's lives and my husband's life. So of course I wanted to raise healthy babies. And in the beginning, they eat whatever they want, whatever you put in front of them. And it's really exciting. You feel like you nail it every day. And then they get picky and it gets really overwhelming. And my pediatrician recommended a multivitamin. My husband is also a pediatrician and also recommended a multivitamin. And I'm a former teacher, and a colleague had gone through cancer treatment and was just reaching out to friends that had kids and just shared that multivitamins aren't really doing a lot for your kids. So that put me on the search of something to add to their diet that would give them a boost, that would put more nutrients in the body, but I just didn't know where to turn. And so when my oldest was in preschool, I met a mom of one of her classmates who has now turned into a great friend, who shared Juice Plus with me along with Kelly. And after hearing exactly what Kelly said, that it was whole foods, that it was clean, that it was backed by research, all things that I never thought to look for before, I was like, I'm in. Like, I was there with my sister and I was like, this is what I've been looking for. It's exactly what I wanted for my daughters, but I also felt like now was finally the time that I was going to invest in my health and our health. And so we decided to invest in invest in our health and go all in, and it has totally changed our outlook on nutrition for the better. And so what it has done is that it forced me to start coloring our plates more. So certainly we added the capsules and sponsored our girls so they get the gummies, but what it did was force us to look at our nutrition as a whole, not just like taking our capsules every day and our gummies every day, but it was like, what are we going to do at every meal? So we started to make healthier choices, looking for healthier snack options. So we make more snacks now. And I couldn't have done that without the community that Juice Plus provides for us, because it has just been such an important education for me. And Kelly, you hit on so many important things that we want a better future for our kids, but it's really hard with all the temptations out there, especially with grandparents who like to treat them to like extra snacks. And so it's like educating them as well. Like we can still make them happy, and it doesn't always have to be a sweet treat, which is really overwhelming. I feel like that's the most overwhelming part. But the community is the biggest piece for me. And it has allowed me to be surrounded by like-minded people who all want to raise healthy and happy kids. And it can happen together. Like they can be healthy and they can be happy. And I love being a mom on the mission. I love sharing it with my family. I love sharing just even like food alternatives with friends, and certainly being able to bridge the gap with such, it's just an impressive product for it. I don't think you mentioned the fact that there's a shake mix as well, but that's what I give my kids for a snack. Callahan, my 5-year-old, wanted that for her snack today, and it feels so good to be able to give them a snack that's going to give them protein, that's going to give them energy. And what's interesting is that I do have picky eaters. We are not perfect in any way. I will admit that I pay my kids a quarter sometimes to try new foods, and that's how Callahan has started to like eat tomatoes. Like now that's her favorite thing. But Delaney got a quarter for trying like a vegan ranch dip the other night, but she had to dip her carrots in it. And so that's one of our tricks that we use, and you just have to be creative sometimes. But it's been fun to try to, just try new things and be a mom on a mission. And like I said, share it with others. So I'm going to send it over to Amy Caldecott now to share her story. Amy, you're on.
Hello.
Hello.
Amy, sorry, I was muted. So I'm Amy Caldecott. I'm in the seacoast of New Hampshire as well, in Durham. I'm a mom to 3 kids, Zach and Juliana and Jack. So I've spent a lot of my life worrying about my son Jack and his lack of healthy eating. He really doesn't like to eat. He's 15, but oddly enough for a boy, he doesn't really like to eat, and he really doesn't like to eat healthy food. So it kind of freaks me out. I'm always worrying about him and trying to get him to eat better. He doesn't really like vegetables. The only fruits he likes are strawberries and raspberries. And I can relate. I was kind of a picky kid. My lunchbox was filled with white bread and peanut butter and fluff, and something from the Ring Ding family and something from the Frito-Lay family. So I survived, but now we know the importance of a healthy diet, and I literally was for Jack. So last summer when I met Noelle and she told me about fruits and vegetables in a capsule, it just made sense to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. How did I not know about it? So right away I was all in. I'm like, yep, I want this. I'm going to order all 4 capsules, the fruits, the veggies, the omegas, and the berries. And I was already kind of spending money on fancy omegas and stuff. So that part didn't seem like a big deal. I was all in. And then she said, you can also do this Healthy Start for Families program and get some fruits and vegetables for your kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. Jack needs it. So I signed up. I did the Healthy Starts for Families, came home with my Juice Plus. A week later it arrived. My whole family started eating it. We all loved it. And so then we ordered another order so we could sponsor my daughter, Juliana. And pretty quickly we all noticed we just felt better. We had more energy and better sleep. I wasn't having iced coffee in the afternoon. Everybody just felt better. And the two astounding things to me. One is I love sweets. I grew up eating tons of candy. Every year for Lent, I would give up sweets. And I would say, okay, 40 days, by the end, I'll make a new habit. I won't want it. Easter Sunday would come, and I would be eating Cadbury eggs and jelly beans and every other thing. So I never really was able to give up the sweets. But oddly, after I started Juice Plus, I didn't really want the sweets. And I didn't notice right away, but I just stopped eating the sweets. And I would do like Bikram yoga. I'd kill myself 90 minutes in a hot room, work my butt off, and come out and get like a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. And slowly I realized I really wasn't eating sweets, and I'm still not. And Jack started eating way fewer sweets too. So our family was like, oh, this is amazing. And nobody could believe it. My mom's like, oh, get out of here. I don't believe you're not eating sweets. I'm like, I swear to God, I don't even want them. It's not like I'm not eating them because they're not healthy or whatever. I just don't want them. But anyway, we also noticed that our allergies were getting better. So 4 out of 5 of us in my house have pet allergies and seasonal allergies. And my Jack, my youngest, has been on Claritin forever, probably 10 years. He was taking it year round. And every once in a while in the winter or the summer, we'd try to get him off the Claritin because, the allergies aren't so bad. And he'd always end up back on it. But slowly I realized he wasn't really needing the Claritin. He wasn't taking it. I'm like, oh my gosh, our allergies. So none of us really are taking seasonal allergy medicine anymore. And the biggest thing is, for years, my kids, everybody in my house has wanted a pet. Everyone, can we get a puppy? Can we get a puppy? Every 6 months, pictures would go around of puppies, and we just can never get a puppy because everybody in our family is allergic. So after about a year, we started thinking, nobody seems to have allergies. This is amazing. So we decided to try kind of having puppies around, friends' puppies, and everybody was okay. And so, lo and behold, 1 month ago, we got our cute little Ollie. Some of you saw him earlier. Bring in Ollie. Here's our little Ollie, and we're madly in love with him, and nobody has any issues. Nobody has allergies, and he's now part of our family. So our family will never, ever, ever go a day without Juice Plus. That's it. And I will kick it back to Kelly.
Amy, thank you so much. Hello, Ollie. He is incredibly handsome. And Melissa, thank you too for sharing your story. As I was listening, I was feeling like there was so much of my family story and your stories. And so I had mentioned earlier in the call that I was introduced to Juice Plus 15 years ago. And it came at a time when my mother-in-law at the age of 56 was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. And that diagnosis rocked our family's core, because where cancer had been on the periphery of our family, now it felt like it was offensively at our front door and it was banging to get in. And I had such a fear for my husband and my children now that they had a genetic connection to this disease. So, being that mom on a mission, being that mama bear who was like, no, this is not going to be our family story. I dug in and I started to learn, and everything I was learning, all roads were pointing to prevention, diet, prevention. And I was like, okay, it's food, it's whole food, it's fruits and vegetables. So I tried, went to the store and got all these fruits and vegetables, and like, I'm gonna get my family to eat more fruits and vegetables. I threw out more than we ate, and I found that the food that we were buying in the grocery store, I was so limited. I was so limited to what I could find. I live in New Hampshire. I don't have access to fresh food all year long. I don't have variety, so it was a struggle. And I'm one of those people that believes when you kind of put energy out to the universe, it will boomerang back and you'll receive what you're looking for. And I was looking for a solution, and a perfect stranger introduced me to Juice Plus. And when I heard about Juice Plus, there were 3 things that I needed to hear. Number 1, it was food. It is not a vitamin, because I was very anti-vitamin. In my research of kind of figuring out the connection to disease prevention, it was like there was all kinds of evidence that vitamins were not the way. In fact, they can be more harmful and do more harm than good. So I was like, I'm not into vitamins, but it was food and had a nutrition facts label. I was like, oh my gosh. And the second thing was research, because I don't go on blind faith that something is going to do something in my body. I need evidence. I need proof, particularly if I'm going to give this to my children. And when I saw the enormous body, today we have 38 gold standard research studies on Juice Plus showing what it will do to your physiology. And that's huge. Most prescription drugs may have 1 or 2 clinical studies, and we have 38. I mean, that's just unheard of. It's unprecedented. And then the third thing was, is it safe for children? Because most, vitamins come in a, safety sealed cap. I even have a friend who's a colleague of mine whose son actually overdosed on Flintstones vitamins. So I was just like, this is food. For the kids, it comes in a resealable pouch, like a bag of raisins. So you can't OD on it. You can't, it's so safe. It's so safe for babies in utero. So food, research, safety, sign me up. Oh, and my kids got it for free. So it was just a no-brainer decision. But I wake up every day really thanking myself for being the mom who had the courage to dive into a solution, embrace something that was just truly a no-brainer, an intellectual no-brainer. And I have really healthy Juice Plus kids. I have a healthy Juice Plus husband. I'm a healthy Juice Plus mom. And, like Amy said, we're not perfect. We're not perfect at all. And I would never want to portray perfection, because you know what? That doesn't exist. There is room in life for the sweets. There is room in life for the fun. That 80-20 rule is really how we like to live. But people always say, well, what has it done for your family? And I don't know Juice Plus. I don't know my family without Juice Plus, because my kids were 3 and 5, and now they're almost 20 and almost 18. So all I know is that my kids gravitate towards healthier foods. They choose salads off the menu. I remember my daughter, who's a higher level athlete, she was coming home from a game. She was traveling with other parents, and she called me from the bathroom of a McDonald's. And she's like, Mom, because my kids have never eaten McDonald's. And she called me and she's like, what do I do? I'm starving. I don't know what to eat. And I said, honey, just give yourself grace and just eat. And she's like, but Mom, you know this food. I go, I know, but you need to eat something or you're going to feel sick from hunger. And she came home. She was so proud because she ordered a salad and told them to hold the meat because she knew it wasn't real. And I was like, I've done my job. My job was to raise healthy kids, morally sound kids, kids that were going to be contributors to society. And I don't think that I'm naive in thinking that there is such a strong connection between the nutrition my kids have received for 15 years and who they've become today as young women, because they're both high honors. They're both high level athletes. My youngest is already committed to play collegiate field hockey. They're good human beings. Their behavior has never been a problem. In fact, neither of them has ever rolled their eyes or slammed a door. So, there is a strong connection between food and behavior, and food and attitude, and food and intelligence. So if there's anything that you heard tonight, either in the information aspect of our event or in the amazing stories of Melissa and Amy and, my own, get with the person that invited you to this call, or if you're listening to the recording, and, first of all, say, hey, thanks. You might have just changed my life. You might have just changed my family's life. But also say, share with me more. Melissa mentioned our complete vegan protein powder. Amy mentioned our omegas, which are vegan omegas. So we have kind of some other aspects to our product family. But, think about this being your line in the sand. Your line is drawn and you are ready for change. And let one simple change of just bringing fruits and vegetables in capsules or a chewy for free for kids be part of that change. Also, those that shared tonight are also Juice Plus professionals. A lot of us have other careers, but we choose to partner with this company from a professional standpoint because we believe in the changes that have impacted our families, and we want them to impact your family. So we need more moms and dads on this mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. So if that appeals to you and you're inspired to be like, tell me more about that, then have that conversation. I thank all of you so much for carving out a little time in your busy lives to join us tonight. And we hope that Healthy Starts for Families is something that makes sense to you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Amy. And then for my techie friend, Noelle, behind the scenes, we so appreciate you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you. Wonderful. Very
Good night. Thank you.
Jessica says goodbye.
Bye.
Francesca.